Raider Nation, it's your boy Angry fucking Raider, and welcome to the Angry Raider Show. I'm your host, Angry fucking Raider. Now you know why I'm here, right? And some of yous might be a little upset after I finish what I'm gonna say. And some of yous probably gonna agree with what I say. Hopefully, you'll see what I'm saying and understand what I'm saying and then put your own perspective on it. You know what I'm saying? Now, going into this year, I said 7-9, 8-8 at best. Second year Carr's been in the system. He should improve. We look better on paper than we did last year, the 4-12 year, and I felt like we at least had three extra wins on our team than we did the 4-12 season. Right? We were younger. We had a little more talent. I felt like we would play a little better. I also said by year 3, we should be competing at a high level. By year 4, we should be contending. I said that going into this year. I said in my last blog, people got it fucked up because we was winning games we shouldn't have won, but they was all close games, and it looked like the Raiders was putting together, which they are. And you was riding that high, and I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Because we finally have shit to cheer for. But I knew we were young. I knew we were still rebuilding. And I didn't expect much from this team like some people do or some people did. I did expect us to be better than what we were last year, which we are. So I'm happy that the organization is moving in the right direction. The front office is functional. The coaching staff seem functional. And it seemed like that they're getting the most out their players, you know what I'm saying, to the best of their ability. So I'm cool with how our young players have contribute, and I'm also happy that they're going through these hard times because then next year they will understand and know what it means to ball. A lot of these young players been on championship teams all their life, so they don't understand what it is to be behind the 8 ball. And now they're behind the 8 ball, so now they got to figure out what they need to do to adjust, and also what they need to do better to not be behind the 8 ball so they can continue that winning tradition that they are used to. So I'm cool with the way that the organization is moving, and I'm cool with Gruden, and I'm cool with Mayock, and I'm cool with the decisions that they made. The only thing that's worrying me right now is our quarterback situation. Now I know y'all gonna say Carr ain't had nothing since he been playing with the Raiders. True. Carr's been injured a lot through his career, but he's tough and he comes back and he plays hard. True. Carr is the best quarterback we done had since Kenny Stabler. True. But Carr is the only quarterback we done had the longest though, since 2003. You can go back and check me if you want to. So you should expect him to have decent numbers because he's a decent quarterback. He's not trash. You know what I'm saying? He's not ass. He's not butt. He's decent. The problem I'm having with Carr is that from last year, we talking about last year. We're not going to talk about when he came into the league and his stats from there. We talking about last year to this year. He's been in a system his longest for 2 years. So I'm going to let all the other shit slide. because I'm not going to hold that against him. It would be hard to try to play under those conditions at a high level when you're constantly switching head coaches and constantly the turnover rate is high and you're not in the same system every year. So that could be, that probably is hard on a quarterback. So I'm cool with that. But we talking about last year, 4-12, to this year right now, 6-6. Now, Carr threw for 4,000 yards last year with nobody, right? First year in the system, he had his best year, right? He had his best year, threw 19 touchdowns, I think, 10 picks. You know what I'm saying? His quarterback rating was good. He had his best year. Threw for 4,000 yards first time in his career. So Gruden got the most out of him. So you would think going into this year, he would have way better numbers than he have now, and he'd be playing at a real high level in the offense. Now, I'm not saying he would have won a bunch of games or none of that. I'm not looking at the win and loss total. I'm looking at the progression, the steps forward in the system. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm basing this shit off of. I'm not basing it off of yards. I'm not basing it off of touchdowns. I'm basing it off of last year to this year. How much has he improved? He got, I think, 15 touchdowns, 6 picks, 2,600 yards passing, right? This week 12, we got 4 more games left. Do you think in them 4 games that he's going to throw for 4,000 yards? No, he's not. Do you think that he's going to throw for more touchdowns than he threw last year? Probably, maybe. Do you think he's going to throw more picks or the same amount of picks as he threw last year? Probably a little more, maybe the same. So what I'm asking you, Raider Nation, is where did he get better at in the system? Even with 1,000-yard back, taking most of the pressure off of him and having the same receivers quality-wise that he had last year, you would have expected him to take a big step in John Gruden's offense. Not a little baby step, a big step. You understand what I'm saying? You got a tight end that you had last year. We traded him away, but you got the same production, if not a little better production, from a younger tight end. So you still got that weapon. You added a slot receiver who was consistent. You added a little weapon there. You know what I'm saying? We still don't have nobody that can stretch the field. We still don't have a number 1 or number 2 receiver. And you added a 1,000-yard back. And you added another elite tight end and Monroe. I think he's going to be great. You know what I'm saying? So you added a little more pieces, and you've been in the system for 2 years. Tell me, Raider Nation, how much of an improvement do you see in Carr's game? From last year to this year, we're not counting none of the other years. I'm going to give him that. I'm just saying, from last year to this year, you tell me how much of a bigger step and improvement do you see Derek Carr in that offense? Tell me. We got the wins off of adding Josh Jacobs to that backfield. We got them wins because we added an elite running back. You understand what I'm saying? So that took the pressure off of Carr and John Gruden were having to come up with a lot of passing play calls versus run because we didn't have no run last year. To now you got a running game and you can kind of do a lot of play action and shit like that. So, with that being said, I understand his passing yards might not be to his passing yards last year because he threw more passes because he didn't have a running game. But what I'm saying is, it's your second year in the system. It should be way better than what we've seen. Even with mediocre receivers, Carr should be able to make those receivers better. He should be able to make those receivers better. And you got a running game. And you got an elite offensive line. You hear me tell you why Carr hasn't progressed in this offense? I'm going to tell you the secret. And you should know. It's because he does not make plays with his legs. That's the element in his game that is trash. He can throw the ball. He got great accuracy. He's intelligent. He's a good leader. But he has no mobile ability as far as wanting to make plays with his legs. What you seen in Cincinnati when he made that one play with his legs is all I've been trying to get through Carr's head. Is if it's nothing there, you have to make something out of nothing. I can go back and show you plenty of clips where he had numerous opportunities to take off and gain 4 or 5 yards to keep the drive alive, but he didn't. Why he does not choose to add that element in his game, I do not know. But that's why Rich Gannon was successful in John Gruden's offense. It's because he was willing to run when there was nothing there. Carr said it was a part of his game that he worked on through the offseason was being more mobile, because he knew last year was a lot of opportunities he had to run for 5 yards, run for a first down, but yet he chose the option to try to force a ball or look for something that's not there and take the sack. What do you see this year? The same thing. The same thing. You have to have some wiggle in you to play in this National Football League. And the teams with the quarterbacks that got the wiggle is winning. Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs, the Texans. Look at the Titans. They got fucking Tannehill. Do y'all know that in Miami, the years that Tannehill played, he went to one playoff game, the same as Oakland in 2016. And Tannehill numbers are better than Derek Carr's numbers through his first 6 seasons with Miami. And Miami was trash, just like we were. They was a little better, but they wasn't too much better. And if somebody was to ask y'all, do y'all think Ryan Tannehill is better than Derek Carr, you're going to say, hell no. But statistically, he is. When he was with Miami. You know what I'm saying? But my point I'm making is that this is the it factor I'm talking about. Right here. It's the it factor. That's it. Your defense is not going to win every down, man. And you have the ability to run. You need to run. To play where we was down there where we missed the field goal. He could have ran. He could have ran. The play where he was running around, scared for his life. He had Josh Jacobs at the top wide open. He could have dumped it off. The play where he cuffed, tucked the ball, and it looked like the dude was about to sack him but missed, and he got out of it, and then he just scrambled and then fell down for 1 yard. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, bro. That's what I'm scared of, Raider Nation. Carr didn't improve enough in year 2 for me. And I blame some of that on the Raiders organization for not getting a quarterback to compete with Derek Carr for his spot, to give him that push, because he could pretty much go in any game for the last 6 years and do horrible, and he won't get replaced because we don't have nothing to replace him with. So if you were in a situation like that, you're not really playing for your job, because the Raiders would be stupid to cut him or trade him with nothing. Nothing in the works. Nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So that lets me know that the Raiders need to draft a quarterback in the 3rd round, or maybe even pick up a decent backup from another team. I say draft a quarterback and mold him behind Carr and go with Carr another year, you know what I'm saying, and push him for his position. I just don't think the Raiders would be smart to just let Carr go and not have a plan B. You understand what I'm saying? You already got an elite running back. You still need to add some more pieces to the offense, and you damn sure need to add more pieces to the defense. So I think it would be stupid to let Carr go, and I think it would be stupid to trade him as well, especially when you don't have nothing. It's almost like you're rebuilding all over again, because now you're dependent on this quarterback to come in and just produce off rip, and that's not going to happen. So if you draft a quarterback, you keep Carr, you let him learn in the system, somewhat like what Baltimore did with Lamar Jackson, like Kansas City did with Patrick Mahomes. You let him learn in the system, and then year 4 in the offense, year 2 for him, year 3 for Carr, year 3 for the whole offense, basically, my bad, you will really get to see if you got someone that can push Carr for his job, or you got to go with Carr again, or you got to have to go and do what you got to do. But I just would be, to me, would be stupid to let Carr go. So I'm not suggesting that. But I am suggesting that you get somebody. Now I hear people saying you should trade for Cam Newton and shit. I don't want Cam Newton. He done did all he gonna do. I don't want Cam Newton. But I mean, there is a couple solid backups out there that probably could come in and push Carr for his job. You know what I'm saying? You got Teddy Bridgewater. You got, you know what I'm saying, RG3. I mean, y'all niggas might want to say, ugh, you know what I mean? But, you know, I'm talking about backup if you're not going to draft a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a decent backup. I mean, who do we got? Long neck Glennon. We were already seeing what that's about. We don't know what Nathan Peterman would do, and you don't know what Kaiser would do. Me personally, we're not going to the playoffs. We pretty much shot ourselves in the ass with that. So I would assume that you would just see what you got. You know what I'm saying? See what you got. Raider Nation, I'm just saying, from last year to this year, I don't see no improvement in Carr. That's all I'm saying. I'm not counting none of the other years. I'm just saying from last year to this year, I don't see no improvement in Carr. I see improvement in the team. I see improvement in the front office. I see good decisions being made as far as players and shit. So I'm content and cool with which way the team is going. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't see no improvement in Carr from last year to this year. Some of you gonna disagree. Some of you gonna tell me, "Oh, he did this, all this, whoop whoop whoop." Look, let's be real with yourself. Do you see a dramatic improvement from last year to this year? Ask yourself that question. Do you see a dramatic improvement from last year to this year? And you even got an extra addition to the piece. You got 1,000 yard back, an elite back. You know what I'm saying? You got 1,000 yard back. So that should take a lot of pressure off Carr trying to be more than what he had to be the last year or the years before. You know, he really had to be it all because he had nobody to take the pressure off of him. Now he has somebody take the pressure off of him. Do you see a dramatic improvement from last year to this year? Ask yourself that question. No, you don't. So my suggestion is what I said. You should go get you a quarterback and see if he can push Carr for his job. I ain't saying abandon ship. I ain't saying fuck Carr. I ain't saying none of that. I'm saying you should be thinking about it because you're going in the right direction. You're going in the right direction. But is Carr going to take you to where you're trying to go? That's what I'm asking y'all. Do y'all really believe that? I told you the element in Carr game that he missing that probably would take him over the hump. It's scrambling. It's scrambling. I didn't say you had to be a Lamar Jackson or a motherfucking Patrick Mahomes or goddamn fucking Michael Vick or any of that shit. I just said I need you to run a little more, baby. I need you to make plays. And you're not doing that for me. You're depending on your arm. You're depending on a route to open up when you don't have those receivers to make that happen. So you have to use your other abilities. You have opportunities to run, man. You have opportunities to keep drives alive. But yet you just fucking, I don't know what you were thinking or what you would do. You don't even look, you don't have the fire in your eye. You just look real fucking like you defeated over there on the sideline. You understand what I'm saying? Come on, man. You the quarterback. The young people see this. Your team sees this. They see their captain with his head down looking crazy over there with his hat on instead of firing up his team, instead of being like, yo, we're going to get back in this shit. None of that. None of that. None of that. So you tell me, where has he improved from last year to this year? You tell me. That's it. We talk about Carr as the player. Now, we ain't talking about stats. We talking about Carr as the player. Where have you seen him as the player improve from last year to this year? I watched the quarterback on the sideline 2 games in a row. My fucking starting quarterback, my fucking captain on the sideline 2 games in a row with his fucking head down. You understand what I'm saying? With his head down. I don't give a fuck what we losing by. Your young team, your young team sees that. I don't give a fuck. I don't want nobody on my team with their head down. I want you all got your head up, still playing, man. You know what I'm saying? Still playing, even if the game is out of reach, still playing. You know what I'm saying? I see my quarterback over there with his head down, looking lost, deer in headlights for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Defense was playing good. They was playing good enough to come back. Couple mistakes we did. Okay, cool. But they was playing good enough for you to come back. They was the running game, John Gruden. I'm going to talk about you right now, John Gruden. You abandoned the run. Your running back was popping them. He was getting them runs. Stay with it. Stay with it. You know what I'm saying? Damn, man. That's what I'm worried about, Raider Nation. I'm going to keep it a buck with you, man. That's what I'm worried about. I ain't worried about nothing else, man. I'm worried about that right there, man. I don't see no fucking improvement from year one in the system to year 2 in the system. I just don't. And if y'all see improvement, then all right, cool, but I don't. I'm going to be realist with you. I don't. So, you know, once again, we're pretty much kind of hindered a little bit because our quarterback is kind of holding us back a little bit, man. You know what I'm saying? Year two, Carr should be rolling, baby. We should be, you know what I'm saying, putting up points. I ain't saying we be blowing motherfuckers up, but we should be putting up points, man. We should be putting up points. You know what I'm saying? And you played against the 26th ranked defense, pretty much like playing against your motherfucking defense every practice. And this is what we get. That's what I'm saying. Against teams, the defense isn't legit. This is what we get. It's crazy to me. Big games. This is what I get from my starting quarterback in big games. He had opportunities, y'all, to make plays. You seen it. I seen it. Yeah, it was bullshit calls, and yeah, the refs was on their side, but I was always told when I played ball, you know, when you go into a hostile environment, you expect that. And the only way to compete with that is to put fucking points on the board. Keep drives alive. You got a young team. You got to be the GOAT for that team. You got to make shit happen. And I don't see that from last year to this year. Last year I gave you a pass. You did pretty good last year with nothing around you. This year we added some pieces and we still get the same car. And you let me know where you fucking are cool with that at, because I ain't. And that bothers me, what we're trying to build and we look like we're building in the right direction, and I got a fucking quarterback that's kind of looking like it might be hindering the process. That's all I'm saying, Raider Nation. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying my quarterback trash. I'm not saying that it's all Carr's fault. I'm just saying the process from year one to year two. I don't see no improvement. I still see the same quarterback. I'm just saying, Raider Nation. I'm just saying. But like I said, I'm still appreciative of the direction the Raiders are going. I'm still a Raider fan. I still believe in the process. I'm just a little concerned about my quarterback situation. You can't fault me for that, and you would be a fool not to understand or see what the hell I'm talking about. I don't know what game you watching. If we gonna live off of stats from fucking 4 years ago and shit like that, then okay. I'm saying, all right. But I'm talking about being in this consistent system for fucking 2 years. What fucking process or what steps do you see, or how big of a steps do you see, I should say, Carr has made in year two in the system with extra help? You got an elite running back now. That takes pressure off of you. Let me know. Yeah, you don't have no receivers and shit, but shit, if you threw for 4,000 yards with no receivers last year, I at least think you should be picking these niggas apart this year with the receivers. You know what I'm saying? You got a little better receivers than you had last year. You know what I'm saying? So, it's, you know, your defense still is the same from last year. So, I mean, you can't help that. But I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, what have you done from year one to year two? How better have you made the team? Josh Jacobs came in and made immediate impact. He made the team better. Darren Waller, year two under the system, came in, made the team better. Foster Monroe, year one in the system, rookie, made the team better. You know what I'm saying? Trent Brown, Richie Incognito, yeah, they've been in the league a little longer, but shit, still, they came in year one under the system and made the team better. Where has my quarterback made the team better at? Where? You're not telling me that John Gruden only scores fucking, what, 9 points? No, 12 points in 2 fucking games, 147 plays. You telling me that John Gruden has only scored that many fucking points? If you had told me that in real life, I would have told you you're fucking an idiot. You're an idiot. We talking about a motherfucker that eats, breathes, and shit football, and you're telling me this is what I receive in 3 games. I would tell you you're stupid. But sometimes the coach needs the quarterback to do a little more. And you're the captain, and you're year 2 in the system. And if these guys have produced year 1 in the system, then I know goddamn well my quarterback should be 10 times better than he was last year when we had none of this shit in year 2 in the system. That's all I'm saying. So, that's my thing, man. It's a heartbreaking loss. We got smoked. Like I said, I'm content with the way the organization is going, and hey, man, we're gonna be looking good years to come. There ain't gonna be no more laughing at the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think people hate on us because we just diehard fans, and we gonna pop shit regardless if we win or lose, and we can talk that shit because we have won chips, we have won divisions. You know what I mean? We only been losing, if you want to be real with it, since 2003. So what's that? 16 years, something like that. You know what I'm saying? A decade and some. So yeah, we've been bad, but you know what I'm saying? It looks way better than it looked those years. You understand what I'm saying? It looks like the organization got their shit together, the front office got their shit together, and you got the right pieces in the front office and in the coaching staff to take this team to a new level. It's just, I'm concerned at the quarterback position, and I think you should be too. So this ain't a knock to Carr. This ain't a knock to Carr fans. This ain't a knock to my quarterback. I'm just saying what I'm saying. This is my opinion. So this your boy, fucking Raider. I just thought I'd hit you with that. See y'all next Sunday. Disappointed loss. Pretty much shot herself in the ass. And hey man, it's been a pleasant run so far. And I've been thankful that I had some shit to cheer for this year. You understand? And we looking good for years to come. So I'm not bummed out about the shit. I'm just saying I'm concerned. I'm saying I'm concerned about my quarterback, my captain. That's it. So yo, you already know, leave your opinions, leave your dislikes, leave your likes, say whatever you gotta say. If I'm wrong, cool. If you agree, cool. It's all love over here. We grown. You know what I'm saying? We able to have our own opinion and our own point of view of what the fuck is going on. This is mine, you know what I mean? So anyways, it's your boy fucking Raider. You already know our slogan. Raiders. Raiders. I'll see y'all next Sunday. Peace.